Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I am not sure what time it is that you're watching, whatever the time. It is nice to be with you through this platform. I want to share with you about finishing well, because so many of us start very well but finish badly. In my opinion, it is even better to have started not so well but finish well. I think the finishing is so critical. We must finish well. But there are people who have started so well and ended up very badly. I want to illustrate this from scriptures by looking at the life of one King Saul. King Saul was anointed to become the king of Israel, the first king ever. The man that was taller than everybody else, handsome, he had everything going for him. And when he was anointed, the first thing that he did was to fight against the enemies of Jabesh Gilead, part of Israel. And his name was just flying high up. Everybody was excited. But as days went by, this man was overtaken by being very egocentric, thinking just about himself, becoming proud. Why do I say this? If you look at the book of 1 Samuel chapter 15, he is told to go and kill the enemies of God, the people who had been an eyesore to the people of Israel, because in the wilderness they had killed their women. They had come from behind, killed the women that were in the rear, and therefore God said to Moses that these are a people I will annihilate. And God had now chosen that Saul is to do that, many years later, of course. And Saul went to that battle, but when he went there, he saw some fat rams and he decided, I will take this back with me. Perhaps I will become a rich man. And also he spared the king of the Amalekites, King Agag. And there are stories we could say about that. And then when he finished that battle, he went to build a monument in honor of himself, not in honor of God. And God was so unhappy. And he told Samuel, what is this that Saul has done? And Saul confronts him. He is not repentant. In fact, when he is confronted, he says, it's the people. He blamed other people. He didn't own his own sin. And you know, it is repentance that makes us be acceptable before God. We all will fall short from one time to the other. Even the man after God's own heart, that is David, will at times fail, but it is because of his repentance that he seems to have pleased God. But Saul blames other people, and when Samuel is walking away, he tries to hold his cloth and he tears it, and Samuel says, your kingdom has been torn like this. But it seems like Samuel continued praying for Saul, either for God to have mercy on him. But you know, intercession by others for you is not the same as you changing your attitude and becoming right. And what happens in chapter 16, verse 1, we read God speaking to Samuel and saying, for how long will you pray for this man, seeing that I have rejected him? In other words, God will not hear intercession on behalf of Saul. And that is tragic. When God says, I don't want to hear about you, or I don't want people even praying about you, it is tragic. Where do you turn? You are doomed. It's over. And so we find at the end of it all, he will go into battle and he dies in battle against the Philistines. But he doesn't die alone. He dies with one of my heroes, Jonathan. Jonathan was a great man. He also at one time had fought against the Philistines and spared the lives of, or rather saved the people of Israel all alone. He had gone with his armor bearer and he had the sword and he killed so many Philistines that had come against them. It was also a time of battle. But you know, he died with his father. And for me, the death of Jonathan is even more tragic, because when you look at the life of Jonathan, he had lived well. But I think there is one verse that really speaks to why Jonathan died. That is in the book of 1 Samuel chapter 20, the very last verse, verse 42. This is where Jonathan has made a covenant with David. And verse 42 reads, Jonathan said to David, "Go in peace, for we have sown friendship with each other in the name of the Lord, saying, the Lord is witness between you and me, between your descendants and my descendants forever." And the last sentence says, then David left, and Jonathan went back to town. David left to go to be chased like a partridge, to go into the wilderness, to be chased by Saul. And you know the story, how David is being chased from place to place. He has to live like a refugee in his own land. Sometimes he even tries to go and join himself with the Philistines because of the persecution by Saul. On the other hand, Jonathan returns to town, returns home because of association with his father. He goes back to enjoy himself, to live a comfortable life. And it is because of this he will go into battle with his father and die. This verse, in fact, this statement at the end of the verse, then David left and Jonathan went back to town, is one of the saddest verses that I have read in the Bible. And it tells me, when you associate with people that are not walking with God, you are in great danger. But when you associate with the people that walk with God, because in the passages that will follow, David will be joined by people who are distressed, people who are malefactors in Israel, and these are the people that will be turned into great mighty men of David. If Jonathan had then joined himself with David, his life would have ended differently. I want to say it's important for us to examine, who have we joined ourselves to? Who is the person that is speaking to your life, guiding you, leading you? Who is your pastor? Is he a godly person? Or is he one of those that will take you to your damnation? It's so important. I must end this video, but I hope that you have managed to pick something of value, that it is important to be in company of godly people, people that God is approving of, not people that are against the will of God and fighting the purposes of God, people that have been rejected like Saul. Do not go, even if it is family, even if they are part of your family, but they are living against the will of God. You would rather leave them behind and join yourself to somebody else, but who is walking with God. God bless you as you think about what I have said. And make sure that you finish well, because you are not proud and because you have joined the right company. Share with somebody if this is a blessing to you. Let them know that there is a message that can help them. Asante sana.